Hi, today in Megastar we have the one and only Louis Tomlinson. Thank you really much.
No worries, nice to meet you, man.
You're gonna release your third album. How did I get here? So tell me about the album. What can we expect?
I think this is the first album where I've tried to treat with a slightly different intention. I've certainly been out to prove a point on my previous albums. I still stand by the points that I made, but I musically, I mean. But for this record, I wanted to kind of embrace a little bit more pop and let a little bit more joy into the record. Because there was a lot of weight on the stuff I'd done previously, certainly like from a lyrical standpoint. So I want things to feel a little bit freer and an album that takes itself less seriously, basically.
Okay. What can you tell me about the Palaces?
Yeah, that's a song. That's a song that I would probably call the glue between the last record and this new record. It's also a song that is right in line with the kind of songs I love to listen to and love to perform. It was one of the first times in the process where I was listening back to a song and thinking, if this wasn't mine, I would still love it and listen to it. So it's a really nice feeling as an artist. But there's just a natural kind of energy and intensity to it. And it's a little bit metaphorically a love song to my hometown.
Okay, so cute. I wanted to ask you also about your previous single, but after knowing what Watermelon Sugar is all about, I'm afraid to ask you about Lemonade. What does lemonade really mean?
It means whatever you want it to mean, I suppose.
Okay.
It's describing something in life that's maybe not so good for you, but you still want it anyway. So you can read between the lines.
What would you say? What's the difference between how you felt writing Faith in the Future and now writing How Did I Get Here?
I felt good writing Faith in the Future, but had the feeling of pressure weighed on me a little heavier. It's still there for this record, but I came into this record with more confidence. I built up so much confidence from my tour shows that I've done. So I was really, really excited to make this record. And Faith in the Future I was excited to make, but I was also a little bit intimidated. Because Walls was really stop-start, my first record in terms of writing, and it was really hard to build up any momentum. And I knew that Faith in the Future was kind of my shot at doing a proper record where I could carry the momentum through like that. So I was kind of intimidated by that idea. And then, the benefit from doing things like that is we got decent success from the record, and that made me feel really good. And it made me go into this album willing to take risks.
I'm glad to hear that. Louis, yours is a career based on never giving up. You had to audition for X Factor like 3 times before the opportunity. Then after One Direction, you didn't give up either. From where do you get the strength?
I think it was instilled in me from a young age. My mum was always a big kind of actioner of that. Because you're kind of left with 2 choices when you're at that crossroad. You can either give up or you can keep going. And on paper, that sounds like quite an obvious choice. Sometimes when things are emotional, it's not quite as easy as that. But yeah, I think the more you do those things, the more benefit you feel from it. Because when you come out swinging and things then work out for you, it's a freeing idea.
Well, I can see that you are really fond of your hometown, Doncaster. A lot of your actions are linked to Doncaster and to help children and families there. What does inspire you to keep being that involved to your community?
Honestly, I'm reminded every day about Doncaster and how I feel. And it might even be the way that I articulate something or my perspective on a certain thing or opinion on a certain thing. It's such a massive part of who I am. It's just be impossible to shed that skin. And I also I respect those parts of myself. I really like everything that Doncaster stands for. So it's an impossible thing to leave behind. It's a badge that I'm really proud to wear.
What kind of impact would you like to bring the people beyond giving money? Because you are really into it, into helping people.
think music is like escapism for some people, you know, at times, and I've definitely used music like that. I think so. If anyone finds moments of solace in that, in my music, and has a bit of escapism, then that's hopefully I'm helping them like that too. That's kind of cool.
What has been the most remarkable gesture that you have received after helping someone through your music or through charity or something?
I think truthfully, it's sometimes this is hard, and it can be mildly like burdening, but it's when people have the bravery to share with me their stories and actually, you know, and why I've helped and what I've helped them through. That it can be tough. It can be tough to hear, but also it's I think it's just another example of the connection that we have, me and the fans in general, you know. Because also at this point, especially if people have been fans of me for a while, we've literally grown up together. So,
do you still play football?
I still play, yeah. Well, when I say I still play, I played about, God knows how long ago now, about 4 months ago, something like that. And that was the first time in about 10 years. So now I can actually say, yeah, I still play. If you'd asked me 6 months ago, I'd be like, no, not for 10 years. But now, yeah, I still play. Now
that you're here in Spain, have you seen any match?
No. Gutted I wasn't here last week actually for El Clasico. That would have been amazing. I have been to watch the football here before, but not this time. Something I'm always checking when I'm here because yeah, big fan of the Spanish clubs.
What is the characteristic of the Spanish fans?
Chaos. In the best way. In the best way. You know, so I said before, it's like going to watch the football there. Here. There's just an intensity. There's a different version of the word, and like especially in England. And I'm so proud to be English, but we can be a little bit too cool for school at times. You know, you don't really see that in these kind of live environments here, be it in sport or music. And I think that's because music should be freeing like that, and people let loose it. I fucking love that.
Are you excited to play here in Spain? Because we are really excited to have you here in March.
Yeah, I'm that'll definitely be something that I'm counting down the days for. Look, I'm lucky enough to have kind of a base level of intensity at most shows, but it's definitely dialed up over here. So yeah, I'm excited for those moments.
Louis, in a few days it will be Midnight Memories' 12th anniversary.
Oh,
what memories came to your mind?
I remember, I've got a shit memory, right? I've got a terrible memory, but I remember vividly writing Midnight Memories. That was a really, really special night. We were in London when we wrote that song. Midnight Memories, that's like a metaphor for just all the good times that we had in One Direction. That's kind of what it feels like when I hear that phrase. I loved the song. I loved the album. Yeah, a lot of good feeling towards those times.
Yeah, now I'm going to finish. How do you feel the fans here in Spain will receive your new album? How did I get here?
Well, I hope, for a start, I hope they enjoy it. I hope they like it. That's kind of important. That'd be good. But I also think what I've been saying before, I think it's important that they get a sense of their relevance and their part in the journey. Especially anyone who's been a fan of me for a while. I think you'd be able to hear how far I've come and like how confident I feel on this record. And if you do feel those things, then take ownership in it as a fan, because you know you're a big part of why I'm feeling like that and why I've made a record like this. So yeah, I want people to be on me with the emotional journey on it, because they've done a lot for me. I hope they feel that.
Well then, thank you really much for having us. Thank you really much for the interview. And well, we hope to play your song a lot in our station.
Please do, please do. Yeah, play it plenty. That'd be great.
Yes.